Welcome everyone to the first episode of season 4 of Aging in Action. Hey ladies, yay! And because of COVID, we still have to do it virtually, but we're getting there. We're getting closer and closer to being able to get together and be in the studio again, because that would be wonderful if we were.
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon, yeah.
Hopefully. So today's episode is all about a wonderful program that Homestead has taken on, and it's called Be a Santa to a Senior.
Yes.
And I remember maybe about 4 years ago, I think I went to the first one, and I just love the whole concept. And of course, with COVID, it has changed slightly, but the program's still there. So tell us, the listeners, a bit about that program that you have.
Thanks.
Hence the Santa hats.
I know, we're in style.
Yeah.
Like our hats, Gwen?
I love it. Yes, I love the color.
Lisette surprised me with this morning. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love these. Beautiful. Yeah. Thanks so much. I was so excited when we discussed taping this episode about Be a Santa to a Senior, because I know this program brings holiday joy to everybody in our community. That includes older adults, seniors, and just anybody in general that just feels like giving a little bit to those in our community. So the Be a Santa to a Senior program does exactly that. It spreads holiday cheer to older adults that are lonely, isolated, and don't have family during the holidays. And our goal is to get them to have a little gift to put a smile on their face and let them know that people are thinking of them in their community. They matter and they're valued. So we love putting on this program. And Lisette, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is our 12th year that we put on Be a Santa to a Senior. The years fly, and all the seniors that we've been able to support with our community is just it's just been magical. Just absolutely magical.
Well, it was a wonderful feeling when where was it? We were doing it. You were doing it at the Parkside Center, and everybody came together. And oh my God, I couldn't believe how many people had volunteered to wrap the gifts, and it was just so much fun. And it was such a wonderful thing to know that you're going to put a smile on a senior's face that maybe doesn't have family close by and is maybe missing out on some of those wonderful traditions that we all have, during the holiday season. So I just love that. And I know because of COVID, that's had to change. And maybe you can tell us a bit about what the structure is like now.
The structure. Yeah, no. And you're right. It has changed a little bit because obviously our community safety is top priority. And Be a Santa to a Senior, it's always been a really big program, but since COVID, the pandemic has hit, it's been even bigger program because we've seen, some of the devastating effects that loneliness and isolation have, particularly on older adults.
Absolutely.
Who, don't have that family. And when COVID hit, that isolation piece grew even more, where they couldn't have visitors, they couldn't get out and see people. So they definitely missed that piece of the socialization and being isolated. So Home Instead is very determined and knew that we need to continue this program. And so we have partnered with Amazon Business, where we have created seniors wish lists on Amazon Business that anybody in our community can go to, purchase one gift off their list, all the gifts off their list, whatever you can afford or whatever you're comfortable with. And then you pick the senior's name, the first name, for shipping. And that gift will go directly to the senior. So there's less contact. They still get a little gift. They know somebody's thinking of them. And it just works beautifully. And the great part is you can even do a little custom message in there if you want. To say, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever message you want, thinking of you, from the Johnson family, for example. Yeah. And so people can still support in the safety of their home online, knowing that they're also keeping the senior safe. And that's how we ran the program last year, 100% on Amazon Business. This year, we tried One Tree location, just so we can have some individuals who maybe don't have internet access, for example, to get on Amazon. We want to make sure they feel like they can participate too. So we do have some tags, bringing back the basket.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those are fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
on a Christmas tree at Giant Tiger on LaSalle. So if
Okay.
somebody doesn't have internet access and they want to go in, they can buy one of the gifts, all of the gifts, and leave this tag and the gift at that store. And we'll collect and deliver it to the seniors.
It was amazing. Like when we were at the Parkside Center, just the volume of gifts and the logistics that you had to do was amazing to me. It was something totally out of my capability, I guess. I don't know, but I love the idea too of the Amazon last year, and I think I picked a man and a woman, and and you didn't have to buy everything on their list, but whatever you could afford, and it was just, and then you knew when it got delivered. It was just a really pretty good way to do it, and so yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the great part about Amazon wish list too, is once somebody purchases one item, if you go in and you see the description of what they're looking for and they only have one item left, well, you know that senior got some items off their wish list, right? So then if you're like, okay, I'm going to move on to another senior, or I want to buy that last item, you kind of have that choice, right? That give or take. And I've been helping organize Be a Santa for, I think this is my 6th year. I can't even keep track. And Lisette's been doing it for the other 6 years. And I remember when Lisette first told me about Be a Santa when I started, and that's how I started my journey at home instead, was Be a Santa. And Lisette had grew community knowledge of Be a Santa even before I started jumping in and diving in. And I know Lisette probably has many memories prior to me to talk about Be a Santa to a senior.
Lisette, it's not just this your homestead here in Sudbury. Is it homestead across Canada, the world, or how far does it reach?
Well, actually, we're homesteads in 14 countries. So actually all 14 countries participate. So wherever there's a homestead, there's always a Be a Santa to a Senior program. We started ours 12 years ago because that's when I started my journey with homestead here in Northern Ontario. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Be a Santa to a Senior program came about approximately 25 years ago now.
Wow.
I know. So I just felt that it was such, usually at Christmas, my whole life, you go to these different places and there was always programs for children, which are, is super important. But I had never heard of a program, and it had never dawned on me that, someone like my mother could wake up Christmas morning and not have a present. I just, you know what I mean? Because when you have a family and you're with a family, you don't necessarily always think of that, but there's so many seniors that they wake up Christmas morning and they don't have a gift.
Yeah.
And that, to me is like the biggest reason that this program is so special.
Well, who doesn't like getting a gift? Everybody does, right? And sometimes seniors are such a forgotten group for a lot of things, and certainly, the holiday season, it can bring up so many good memories, but it can also be such a sad time for them too. If all the people, if their spouse is gone now and their kids are moved to different cities. So it's such a wonderful idea to, bring a little bit of joy into their lives. And so how many seniors would you be here in Sudbury would be affected by this program? Are we talking like 100 or?
There is lots. I haven't even tallied it up yet. I'm still currently building some wish lists with some volunteers. So I know last year it was close to 600 locally. Yeah. Wow. And that's not including like the other areas. We also receive seniors' names: Barrie, Aurelia, Midland, North Bay. So there's a lot of older adults that are lonely and isolated. And like I mentioned before, the referrals that have come through for this program have been even greater since COVID.
Yeah.
And because a lot of other programs aren't continuing because of COVID either, right?
Yeah, right.
A lot of other programs kind of halted themselves. They weren't really sure how to navigate it and what to do.
We're really lucky that Amazon has volunteered to deliver the items, right?
Yeah,
that was the problem we ran into with COVID. Is contactless delivery, right? Like that, and not being able to have those big, awesome wrapping parties that we've always had, right?
Mhm.
We miss those.
Oh,
Yeah, well, because it
Really,
was
yes.
fun. It was fun for sure.
it was.
And it was, a good chunk of time that day, but it went by so quickly. I
know.
just,
You're
and
you're
it
so
was,
busy, right? You're
yeah,
wrapping this gift, then you're
okay,
wrapping
and
that
try
gift.
to steal some ribbon from somebody else or some
What I loved about, what I loved about the wrapping parties was all the community volunteers that
Yeah,
showed up.
it
They didn't
was-
have to.
No.
And the
showed
different
up.
ages, right?
Yes.
There was people coming with their grandchildren.
Yeah,
It was
wonderful.
magical.
Yeah.
It
And I
was.
think that was part of what was so much fun because there was the different generations there, and it's such a good thing to teach kids, that Christmas or holiday season or whatever you celebrate, it's not all about them, it's about others too, and how can we help others. So
That's
yeah,
that's what the holidays are about, right?
yeah,
Spreading
yeah.
joy,
Yeah, exactly.
positivity. And it was
Yeah.
so great. And it's still so great to see that. I mean, I've had great conversations with people over the phone. I want to volunteer. I don't know what that looks like, but
Yeah.
how do I volunteer and help? Right.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing to hear so many people just want to help out of the goodness of their heart, because that's what the holidays are all about.
Exactly.
And we all need that. It's been a hard couple years.
Sure has.
We all need
Yeah.
that. We all need that piece.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, Gwen, I'd love to share my screen.
Yes,
Show you
yeah,
kinda
please do.
How
Because
the website piece works.
yeah, we've got some time there, so go ahead.
So let me know if you guys can see my screen. I'm not very tech savvy.
Yeah. Well, you're doing much better than me, Nikki.
I can see it. Looks
Yeah,
great,
I can
Nikki.
see it. Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you. So this is the beasantatoasenior.com website, and this is where we want to direct the majority of those that are interested in supporting a senior this year. So when you go to beasantatoasenior.com, you can put in your postal code or your city. I put in Sudbury just for reference. If you do want to learn more about the program, you can scroll down. And it kind of talks about some people that we've helped before, how Amazon works, if you want to make a donation to the foundation, how many older adults we've helped.
Wow. Well, look at
spread
that.
joy.
Isn't that amazing that 2 million since 2003, 2 million gifts
Love
have
some
been
of these
given.
pictures though. So I encourage everybody
Wow.
to check that out. But if you're like, you know what, I want to go, support a senior, put your city in. So Sudbury.
Yep.
It's going to think. So because I have one tree location here in Sudbury, if you hit shop local, Giant Tiger would pop up. I just don't know if it'll let me come back to that. So I don't want to click on it, but Giant Tiger with the phone number will pop up. And the program, I don't know if I mentioned this, the program's going to launch Friday, November 12th. And that's when the website will be active. It's active right now for our taping purposes, but it will be active with all the seniors wish lists as they're being created now, as well as the tags will be available at Giant Tiger if anybody wants to go support. So if you go by online, it kind of explains how the wish lists work. But here on the right is the seniors' names that have been entered in. These codes are particularly for me, so I kind of know what area the older adult was referred to, and it just is organized for me in my Amazon wish list. They don't actually mean anything for people in the community, but you'll see the older adult's first name, maybe their last initial, and that's it. And then when you go to shipping, you're going to want to make sure you would hit Jennifer, for example, and then hit. It'll say Sudbury, Ontario, North Bay, Barrie. That's pretty much all you'll see for privacy. And you'll want to make sure.
I was just going to ask about
name.
that. Yeah, I wondered about the privacy because of the names and addresses and that sort of thing. Okay.
Nope, it's all organized, it's all thought ahead.
Yeah.
So we just encourage, because some people last year had just used their own address in their Amazon account. So I just want to stress the importance of just checking off that senior's name where it's going to say Jennifer, Sudbury, Ontario, for example, and that gift will get shipped directly to Jennifer, one item or all three. And that's how you go. And there's a little,
sorry, Nikki, but what I really liked is I had purchased some items myself for people in the community that I didn't know. And I thought it was really neat because I would get an email notification that it was delivered.
Yeah.
So it felt good because I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, right?
No, it is. Yeah. No, I just think it's such a wonderful, happy thing to be involved with, right? Even if you don't get to meet that senior, but you feel a connection just, based on the whole process, and you're picking out somebody's name, and it's just the way of the world right now. I mean, I hope we can go back to having the party, the gift wrapping party, because that was so much fun. But
We
you
will.
know, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Sure. So how much time do we have left? A few more minutes, I
I
think.
feel like we could just talk all day about
I
being
know,
a
I
senior.
know,
I'm
'cause,
I'm just so
you
grateful
know,
for this program.
it's just so uplifting, I guess, and it's because we just keep getting bombarded with negativity, you know, as we know, and it's just so nice to have something happy to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think,
Positivity, right? You got to spread
yeah,
that positivity, the smiles, and give a little bit. And you never know what might happen down the road. So just support,
yeah.
just support.
Well,
someone.
and that's such a vulnerable age group, right? And they've been through such horror in a lot of cases, and sadness, and it's just something to pick up their spirits too. Like in terms of community partners, like your referral partners, who would that be? All the different seniors, residents, or is there?
Yeah, we get referrals from all across our community from various organizations. And honestly, older adults referring their neighbors, and
Yeah,
just neighbors referring an older adult
yeah,
that they know hasn't come out of their house.
yeah,
You know, when they know all winter they're going to stay in their house.
yeah.
I remember my very first year I delivered a gift to an older lady, and literally she said, "You're the only guest I've had in months." And
Oh,
what she had asked for was a little Christmas tree, little tabletop
yeah,
Christmas tree. So when I
yeah.
delivered it to her after the wrapping party, we were all volunteering to do that. I actually helped her set up her Christmas tree.
Wow.
And that's all she wanted. And
Yeah,
that was the gift she wanted. And she was so happy somebody visited her, talked to her, set up
yeah,
her Christmas tree. And it was just like, wow, like, I mean, I feel good because she feels good. I know I
yeah,
made a difference on this Saturday, right?
yeah,
It was productive. So we just want to encourage everybody to, you know, if you can, go on, support a senior, buy one gift if you can, buy all of them. It's up to you. The
yeah.
program runs, like I said, from Friday, November 12th to December 10th to ensure we have enough time for everything to be delivered
Mhm.
in time for the holidays. And that's our Be a Santa to a Senior program this year. And we're so grateful for anyone watching, anyone
Yeah.
that supported us this year or even in the past. Thank you so much. You've definitely made a difference. And thanks for being a Santa to a Senior.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks so much, Nikki. And of course, we'll put it up on our social media. And Eastlink, of course, will be airing this episode as well. So lots of different ways to find out about it. And I just think it's a wonderful thing. And we all need something happy, right?
Right.
I love the whole concept. And thanks to Home Instead so much for, you know, putting this program on. I think it's a great thing to do. So. Thank you, ladies, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you
Thanks,
all
Gwen.
so much. Take care.
Take care.